One of my favorite comfort foods is Korean beef and tofu stew. Delicious tender beef, silky soft tofu, simmered in a rich bone broth and served with rice and kimchi. Oh my goodness, you've got to try this. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. You know, this dish is perfect to make on a Sunday. I can make the bone broth in the morning before we head to church, and then when we come home, the broth is ready so that I can turn it into this beef and tofu stew. I have about 4 pounds of beef bones here. I've already rinsed them, soaked them, parboiled them, and scrubbed them. I actually get these free from my butcher, which is amazing. So I just ask, do you have any beef bones lying around? And they just like fill a whole bag for me. So this is awesome. It's practically free. Well, it is free. Well, I had to spend money at the butcher. The reason why we rinse and soak is so that some of the blood and impurities that are in the bones get released. And then we parboil it for 10 minutes so that all the scum and stuff that is still in the bones will surface, and that will give us a cleaner broth. Then what we're going to do is just put the bones in the Instant Pot. I think traditionally this broth is boiled on the stovetop for like 18 hours or something like that. But I'm not going for that deep, rich beef broth. Instead, we're just going to use the Instant Pot and we're going to cook it for 2 hours. I also have a whole onion that I'm just going to toss in there as well. And I'm adding 2 teaspoons of salt. Covering the bones with water. Starting off with 8 cups, and I think 8 cups will do. Almost. Let's see if we can just shift some of this stuff around. Adding 2 more cups. So that's 10 cups of water. Putting the lid on, locking into place, making sure the sealing knob is on sealing. And we are just going to cook it on manual, high pressure for 2 hours. About 120 minutes is 2 hours.
Whoa.
It did not just go to 0, did it?
It did.
Huh, maybe if I just press minus, it just automatically 2 hours.
You'll learn something new every day.
Who knew? All right, so we got this going, and we'll be back. So after the broth is done cooking, I would wait at least 15 minutes before quick releasing the rest of the pressure. Otherwise, just let it naturally release, which is what I did because we did start this earlier during the day. And let's see what we've got. Looking pretty yummy. Going to scoop out the fat, and I have a fat skimmer here. I don't know how this thing works, but it does.
You don't want to leave all that fat in there.
Oh my goodness, there's so much.
If we can locate one on Amazon, we'll put it in the link in the description below. This was purchased by my mom to give to Flo years ago.
And it's awesome. Quiet on the set.
Cat on the set.
All right, we have a pound of flank steak. I like using flank because it's lean. When I cut across the grain, it's obvious, like I'm not cutting in the wrong direction, and it just is more tender that way. Just cutting it down so it's easier to slice. I just want to thinly slice this. And actually, you can get pre-cut meat at the Korean market or Asian markets, that is usually used for hot pot, and you can use that instead of cutting up your own meat if you like. But you can also use like ribeye steak or whatever steak you like to eat. We're just gonna prep the rest of the ingredients before we start cooking. So I sliced up all my beef, and I have, let's see, a medium onion that I'm going to also slice. Okay, I've got 2 green onions I'm just gonna chop up. I have 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna run through my garlic press. 1 largish zucchini. Okay, I'm gonna cut it in half, and we just want to, I'm using the whole thing. I just needed a smaller section to cut up. I'm just gonna do half moons, or semicircles, I guess. Just thinly sliced. They're going in at the same time as the onion.
What are you doing there, Flo?
Trying to be.
So are you trying to like do it faster?
Trying to be efficient. I don't think this is working. I'm running out of board. Using 1 package of enoki mushrooms, and it comes in a package like this. So it comes with the dirt still on there. So I just cut it off about 1 inch or so from the bottom. This goes into compost, and then I just do a quick rinse of the bottom of the mushrooms. So I'll be right back. I'm heating up my small Dutch oven. It's not that small, I guess. It's a 4-quart, and I'm gonna set it on medium heat. If you follow me on Facebook, this was my most recent purchase. It was such a good price, I couldn't pass it up. Okay, adding about 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And we're putting in our onions and zucchini. And cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes until the vegetables are softened. Once the veggies are softened, add your garlic. Cook for another 30 seconds or so, just until the garlic is fragrant. You'll be able to smell it. Okay, I'm just pushing the veggies to the side and adding my beef. This will make enough to serve 4 to 5 or 6 people. Usually in the restaurants, you get this little bowl that you're supposed to either eat by yourself or share with one other person. But of course, in Korean restaurants, they have all the banchan, which is like all the little dishes that they serve with your meal, which is amazing.
But the way our family eats, that's not gonna cut it.
Yeah. We're just gonna stick to this one dish with some rice and some kimchi, and that is it. But at the Korean markets, you can often get like sides, like they package them in little packages so that you can have a sample of different things. And sometimes we do that. After about 3 to 4 minutes of cooking the beef until it's pretty much cooked through, we're adding 4 cups of the bone broth. The bone broth isn't as milky as traditional bone broth that the Koreans cook for hours and hours over the stove, but it's still going to give you a very tasty broth for this stew. Just scraping the bottom to make sure there isn't any like onion bits or anything that's been left behind, seared at the bottom. I'm just going to bring this up to simmer. while I'm waiting for it to simmer, I'm gonna add my enoki mushrooms. And we're just gonna pull them apart a little bit to create little bundles. Enoki mushroom is actually quite fun to eat. They're like little noodles. Also adding a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of fish sauce, and if you don't have, if you have one and not the other, just add 2 tablespoons of whichever one you have. And I'm using a soft tofu. It's also called silky tofu, but it's a different texture than regular tofu or medium firm or firm tofu. So the texture is really, really soft, and it kind of just dissolves in your mouth, as opposed to the other tofus that are more firm. They have more springy texture. You have to chew through it. Just then cut them in half. See, look at how soft that is. Okay, and adding the tofu. And then you just want to heat it through. And break it up a little bit, but don't break it up too much. Okay, adding my green onions. And about a tablespoon of sesame oil. Okay, and at this point, if you would like to add eggs, we're adding 2 eggs, and you can add as many as you want, but we're just gonna let them sit and cook through for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's only been about a minute or 2, and you can see that the egg has been poached. And we're gonna turn off the heat. Oh my goodness, now everything just smells so good all together. Just gonna spoon some here for Dude. A little bit more enoki. There you go, that with rice and some kimchi. Are you all ready for?
Oh yes. The taste. I'm serious because I'm seriously hungry, guys. What I love about Korean cuisine is that it's so, it warms the soul, it's so comforting. And you have all the banchan, you have all the variety. Everyone gets a little bit of what they want, and all the flavors and aromas. Oh, Korean people, I love you. All right, so we got the rice, and I'm gonna get into the soup, tofu, and I don't know if any enoki is hanging out on its own, but I'm gonna try. Oh, tofu, get back in there. Sorry, Korean people. But I'm going to get it in there with some rice. Oh, dude, so much goodness going on. Party in my mouth and then party in my tummy afterwards. Oh yeah. It's not strong flavors, but it's real smooth and deep flavors. Beefy broth, and the veg in there, the egg, the tofu, different textures, and the enoki. When you bite into it, whoa, a surprising little crunch. And the broth is uber tasty. Let's not forget the kimchi. This is some leftover kimchi from takeout, so it's good stuff. Again, apologies Korean people if I'm like eating it wrong, but just all the flavors together. Salt, acid, fat, heat. It's spicy, but so good.
Thanks, dude. A lot of Korean stews are spicy, so you can add all of the Korean spiciness at the end to your soup and make it as spicy as you like. But as you can see, we tend to be more on the mild side of things. So We're gonna keep it as is. For those who want some spiciness, they can have some kimchi, and the rest of us can enjoy it the way we like. For more simple, flavorful Asian dishes, check it out, and I will see you over there.